thank you to the December 2020 Patreon supporters of the What We Remember podcast. Sarah P., a.k.a. Situational Daddy on Instagram. Nathan E., Jacqueline M., Matthew J., Paul and Sandy J., Elio, and Big Time Jim. Help support our show by going to patreon.com/whatweremember and pledging a monthly amount to help us make our show. Thanks.
Leave on in my hands, girl. Having songs in my head keeps me really sane.
Yeah.
I every day have like something in my head that I'm like kind of singing in the background. And I'll like leave my office and go to the copier, and I'll be there like humming it in my head. Mm-hmm. And I think that really helps me stay sane during the day.
Been spending most of my life making in the copy's paradise. Drink my water cooler glass, going back home to my desk.
Hey, why does this thing work again? It's on paper. Someone forgot to put the paper in.
My name is Bradley Jones.
My name is Andrew Moldenhauer.
And forget about it. Not a movie review podcast. No, it's a podcast. We try to remember what happened in a movie that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. And this is what we remember about Airheads.
Were there 2 or 3 bad guys in Home Alone? And who was that forgetful fish in Finding Nemo? Join us as we're watching films. See what we remember and what memories we killed. Let's start the show. Here we go. This is what we remember.
Not the candy.
No.
Not the Laffy Taffy candy.
Did it come out before this movie came out?
Oh, yeah. That was like 80s or 70s in that
When
shit.
they had Airheads for a while?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what? Just
it's taffy.
Taffy.
Yeah. Just
sugary taffy.
More sugary taffy. Turns your tongue blue.
Yeah, I love Airheads.
Which one? The movie or the candy?
Can it be both?
Yeah.
It's both.
All right. It could also be what are described in this movie as the Airheads.
Airhead
Who are the Airheads? Yeah, go ahead.
What does Airhead mean to you, Brad?
Dummy.
Idiot.
Yeah, your head.
Oh, I thought you were calling me that.
Oh, your head's
Shut
full
up.
It means that your head's full of air.
There's no brain in there.
Nothing in there but hot air.
Not even anything to rattle around.
Mm-mm. The hamster is off the wheel.
You dumb.
There's just air in that head. It was a term like blonde people, I guess, were called airheads a lot, or associated with being
I
airheads.
take offense to that. Like hard.
Ooh. Wow.
Who's calling people airheads these days?
I don't know.
How old?
Throw it around.
What's
somewhere.
the average age of someone using the word airhead?
Shut up, airhead.
It's got to be in their 70s.
Who's in this film?
So we have Brendan Shanahan. What's his name? Brendan Fraser. Yep.
Or Fraser.
Frasier. We have Adam Sandler.
Uh-huh.
We have Steve Buscemi.
Uh-huh.
We also have a couple other people.
Oh, yeah.
But one of them is Michael McKean.
Yes.
I can't believe I just pulled that out within seconds of saying it. There's another guy with a goatee. He's got a goatee on.
Joe Montana.
It's Joe Montana. He's in
Baby's Day Out.
I was actually thinking of Search of Bobby Fischer.
Oh, yeah.
He's in that one.
I was going to bring up that we should talk about that movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, we should talk about that movie. We'll talk about that one very soon.
One day.
Very soon.
Yep. But so Joe Montana. There's also a girl.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh wait. It is.
There's a couple girls. There's 2 girls, but
Married with Children.
no. She looks like her though. She looks like her. She's short.
Okay. Second guess. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Nope. Close though.
Kirsty Swanson.
She looks like her though.
Oh.
This actress wasn't. I don't think she made any other. Maybe, I'm sure she was in other films, but like she wasn't a known actress.
She looks more like.
She's a super bodacious blonde girl who is Brendan Fraser's love interest.
She's the girlfriend.
There's also another blonde bimbo girl who
works at the radio place.
Yeah, at the
who's
Radio
Anna Nicole
Shack.
Smith.
Yeah, essentially.
But I don't know who it actually is.
So there's a couple more.
There's a couple of
Michael Richards.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, bringing him back from a previous What We Remember episode when we did UHF.
Yeah.
You were skeptical for a second.
I was like, did we do Dennis the Menace? And I forget that we did.
Wait, he's in that.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, no.
Maybe that's Christopher Lloyd is the bad guy in that one.
It's Walter Matthau.
Michael Richards is the bad guy in Problem Child.
Okay. All right.
And then...
Well, there's still more.
There's a Ghostbuster
This
in
is
movie.
like Christmas that never ends. There's a Ghostbuster in this?
Yeah.
Ernie Hudson?
Yeah.
What? Ernie Hudson's in this?
Yeah.
Did we get the whole cast?
There's a few... I want to say that Chris Farley has a cameo.
Is Ernie Hudson the police?
Yeah.
He's like the main
police.
chief. Okay.
Yeah.
We are already kind of knowing this plot.
Sure. It's Die Hard.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
This movie's Die Hard.
I can see that, yeah, in many ways. It's like a hostage situation, of course.
Yeah.
It's a reverse Die Hard.
Yeah, or just Die Hard.
Okay, yeah. No need to make it complicated.
Maybe you're right. It's going to reverse Die
Reverse
Hard.
because like
the bad guys are
the main
good guys.
characters are
Sure.
Hans Gruber's.
Yeah.
I verbized it.
What's the name of their band?
It's like something horse or something like
The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger. I was thinking horse because of the Lone Ranger. But it can't be the Lone Ranger. There's three of you.
You're not exactly lone.
That's like the one line I remember.
Daniels,
Yeah.
Okay, who are you guys?
My name's Pip.
The band. The band name.
Sorry about that.
He doesn't wear a helmet, does he?
It's right there on the box. Read it.
The Lone Rangers? That's original. How can you pluralize the Lone Ranger?
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's three of you. You're not exactly lone. Shouldn't you be the three Rangers?
No idea what you're saying right now.
So, do you know how this movie starts?
I know, like, the basics. I know the stuff before they go into the record office.
Okay.
But
It's
setting up all their characters.
I'm assuming they just finish a cassette. Because it
Yes.
is a cassette. It's not a CD. It's not a record. Mm-hmm. They made a cassette.
One cassette to rule them all.
I might be jumping ahead, but they're thinking that if they just take it to the radio station,
Yep.
they'll play it, they'll be on the air, they'll be instantly famous.
Instant famous, yep.
All right, so I'm on a good roll so far.
Yeah. We got Adam Sandler on the drums. We got Steve Buscemi, I think, on the bass, maybe also singing. And then Fraser as the lead guitar.
Definitely
singing.
lead guitar,
Yeah.
lead singer. Yeah. He's trying to do, like, they're kind of like Guns N' Roses, you would say.
Their
like
look-
they
their
have
look is- their
they have
look
that kind of
is, yeah.
look. Their
music is
maybe
more like
grunge a little bit too.
Their music is more like alternative, I'd say. Like more like Blink-182, like pop music.
Okay. I do remember like Adam Sandler wears boots and shorts and a like pocketed vest and like maybe a bandana.
Yeah, or a hat.
Some
kind,
I think he's
yeah.
wearing
or
a bandana. A beanie maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't really a breakout yet. He had just been doing like SNL, and he probably had that terrible Overboard film, which I'll never watch because it looks awful just from the cover.
Yeah, I think he came out with that in like the
Yeah.
late 80s.
He's just sitting on like an inner tube, like,
1990?
I'm on a boat.
Overboard.
Like,
We went a little overboard in making
I
this.
don't want to watch this film.
Yeah, well, do you think Adam Sandler was on SNL by this time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like right before or right around Billy Madison time.
This came out right before Billy Madison. This came out in 93, and that was 94.
He almost had his Jim Carrey year of like the triple threat, I
Yep.
think. But
Yeah,
it's a
and then
little shy
Happy
of it.
Madison was like 96. Yeah. Okay, so what do you know about how this opens?
I know that Steve Buscemi is kind of like the go get 'em kind of guy, like pushing the band forward, wanting the best for it. Brendan Fraser is sort of like reluctant and like wanting to like go as hard as Steve Buscemi does. Steve Buscemi ends up like buying the guns. I'm gonna say Buscemi for the rest of my life. Steve Buscemi ends up buying the guns for them to like take into the radio station. He's like
Yeah, he's like the
sets it up.
pusher. He's
Yeah,
like trying
he's
to
the pusher man.
He's trying to. Well, that's like a drug reference, but
He calls Brendan Fraser like.
but he's trying to make the more aggressive shots.
Yes. He's very aggro.
Yes.
And Brett,
but is there like some kind of pressure for them to get this on the radio that pushes them to want to hold the whole place hostage?
I think their lives are just sort of in shambles, other than Adam Sandler, because Adam Sandler's just kind of like a doofus.
He's
And
total doofus.
He's like gets picked on a lot by everybody because he's just a dummy. He's the airest head of them all.
That's true. Yeah.
And Brendan Fraser also has like that sweet babe girlfriend he wakes up in the morning next to, but like she wants him to do better and like go out and maybe even like find a real job. Or
I was thinking that too, that like she's actually pushing him to find a real job. She's probably been like a little bit of a roadie with them, sort of. But like, because I think she's into like the band as well, but she's kind of like over it.
Yeah. She's got to move on with her life. She's like wants to get married, wants to have kids.
So maybe she
gives
him an ultimatum.
I can't keep coming over like hanging out with you in your parents' basement while we play Sega Genesis, even though that sounds like the dream to me.
That sounds like a literal line from this movie.
It's also a line from Mallrats, I think, too.
That's true. I was thinking about Mallrats
really
for a second.
Similar setup, I think, with these characters.
Right. So maybe there's some pressure that she's going to leave him.
It's true. Look, I'm making really good contacts. I am. When they hear this song, they're going to go ape shit. It's going to take some time, Kayla. All right? What's the big deal?
The big deal is that I'm doing the bullshit work and you're living the rock and roll life. I want to live the life too.
I'm doing this for us.
Come on, babe. You know that once I make it, you got a free ride. I'm gonna treat you like gold.
Chaz, it's been months. Maybe you should get a job.
This is my job, okay? I am trying managers, record executives, club owners. That's hard work. You gotta sit in a nice office all day smoking and drinking coffee.
She ends up taking the demo tape, too. Like, she has
I know.
it.
I know some of the, with the dog pee and running it over with the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all like...
Because it's a song that he wrote for her.
Right. Okay, that opened up a couple other pieces that I might bring up later.
Let's get some pieces together.
So they can't start off by wanting to take them hostage. They probably start off by trying to just go there and drop the tape off.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser goes there and he gets turned down. Like Joe Mantegna says he's not like taking tapes, or like Michael McKean or one of the two, because the radio station is also having some sort of like civil disagreement where Michael McKean is trying to sell the radio station to turn it into like smooth jazz or like early morning music.
Right.
And then
and
then essentially like everybody's jobs would be gone, including Joe Mantegna and the secretary. There's also another guy. Is it the guy from The Mask who dies? And from American Psycho? Is he in this film? I think he is.
You think so?
I think he is.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean,
I think he's one of the DJs.
I don't know what he would do. He's a DJ.
Yeah.
Joe Mantegna's a DJ?
Yeah, he's like the main
I always thought
head.
that Michael McKean was a DJ.
Michael McKean's kind of like the owner of the
He's
business.
the owner of the radio station.
Yeah.
You can own a whole radio station?
I guess so. I think Michael Richards wants to buy it, maybe? Like he's... I forget what his main goal is. I know he gets like stuck up in the vents for like the rest of the film.
Yes, he does. Because he's trying to do an escape thing.
Yeah.
That definitely doesn't work.
I think he might be the person trying to purchase the station. And
he already works there.
Michael Richards does?
Oh, Michael Richards?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about Michael McKean.
Michael McKean is like the producer, the owner. Or
he's there because he gets tied up.
Mm-hmm.
So they turn him away?
Who? Who's the who in that sentence? They turn him who?
Oh, him. The band. Brendan
the band.
Fraser.
Yeah, they turn. They don't want they won't even listen to the cassette.
They won't even accept it.
No.
So I'm blanking on what happens, but I'm assuming it goes back to the band and they're trying to figure out a new plan.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Steve Buscemi is like, we got to go there. We got to put the tape in their face. We got to make them listen to it. It's the only way to do it. Because he is very like anti-corporate, but also still understands that
he does like a rah-rah type speech.
Yeah. He needs them for the band to get a record deal and for them to take off.
Yeah.
I know I think he might even work at like a toy store or a Radio Shack of some kind.
Like an electronics store, maybe?
Yeah. I think because he has toys, or maybe Adam Sandler has toys, because they play with like a Stretch Armstrong, and that's where they get like the fake guns.
Yeah.
And the guns he gets, had to return from the toy store because they looked too real. But he ends up like taking them.
So they steal some guns from a toy store.
Yeah, he already works at the toy store. He just like grabs them. He's an employee.
Are they already coming up with the plan?
He is.
Is this like his?
He
or
like
is he
surprises
just, like,
it on. Like,
he's like,
Brendan
I
Fraser.
got guns.
I think they're like going to the record store, and I think Brendan Fraser doesn't realize that Steve Buscemi has this like alternate plan. Like he's gonna go wild card.
Oh,
yeah.
see. That would make the most sense if he goes wild card.
Yeah.
Then they're forced into that situation.
Yeah.
And they immediately accept it
Yeah.
as like some kind of hostage situation.
Yeah, I think we have the whole movie pretty much set up now.
Yep.
I don't think there's any like parents or anything involved.
There may be maybe Adam Sandler lives with his grandma or something like that,
Yeah.
or his parents, or
Yeah,
I know they have a band van.
Ooh, does it have like a sexy lady on the side of it, or like
It might. I'm sure it has their logo or
the Lone
something.
Ranger? The Lone
Yeah,
Ranger's on the side of it.
the Lone Rangers.
I think Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi are related. I think they're brothers.
Okay, I could buy that.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so they go
They're trying to break into the radio station.
at nighttime
No, it's during the day.
during the daytime.
And Steve Buscemi tries to break it open by spitting like big gulp in the card reader, and that ends up not working. He's like trying to MacGyver his way in there.
Yeah, they're not getting in through the entrance; they're going through the back way.
Yeah.
They're trying to break it open.
Right. And they're trying to figure out how to get in. One of the employees comes out for like a cigarette break, and then they're on the roof, and Steve Buscemi like drops a canvas bag and catches the door and leaves
Before
it
it
open.
locks.
And it was pretty cool. He like hit it on the first try. Like,
I'm
bang.
literally remembering all of this as you said it.
Well, the movie's on while we're talking.
It's so easy when we do it that way. I love it.
Yeah, and then people like
We just fast forward.
we
and
fast
I'm
forward
like,
to we need to
oh,
talk
and
about something. Or
we should
rewind
do it
real
like
quick.
that one time.
And then we can just edit however we want, you know? What if that was like 110 episodes in, we've all been alive?
Oh,
Every
man.
single thing you've listened to has been an absolute lie.
Yeah, that's like that one. That would be like Paul Logan. The
Crocodile Dundee?
No,
It's Paul Hogan.
Yeah, Paul Logan is the YouTuber who like
Thousands Little Pieces?
no, he just like
Oh,
makes a bunch of videos and then like lies about what he does, and
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, I edit all my videos. And I don't know. Anyway, calling him out.
So getting back on track, they get into that radio station and they're kind of just like sussing the place out. There's not really security. There's just a couple employees, the blonde girl, the guy from The Mask. We got to remember this guy's name for like, this is because he keeps showing up in these films.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what his name is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in it.
We'll get it one of these days.
Yeah,
Now that there are 3 instances.
right. Michael McKean is trying to hide the knowledge that he's selling the radio station off until like the deal is done and you can just like let everybody go.
Yeah, I mean it comes out at like the very end before the hostage situation
Right.
settles.
But they're still at like they don't like each other. Just as like people, they don't get along. Michael McKean and
Joe Mantegna.
Because I think there's even a bit where Brendan Fraser like gets on air live and like Joe Mantegna tries to like play it off as like a goof and like.
So do you think like maybe he puts on a song, walks away, goes get some coffee, and then that's when they like swoop in to put their cassette in?
They don't ever put their cassette in because they don't have the cassette. They don't have the original cassette. What they have is a CD or something. It ends up getting destroyed at the radio station, I think.
So the original cassette that they bring, somehow it gets destroyed.
Yeah, I think the tape player eats it. I think.
So maybe what I was saying is not wrong. Maybe they try to pop in and use it, but it like feeds all the tape out. Like, you know how like it just like pulls it all out. I don't know what that's called.
It's called something.
It's called something, but I not my generation.
Loosening the gears or
Oh no.
pulling the reels. Pull the reel out.
All the reel got pulled out. It's getting too real.
The real world. And then they have no choice but to just pull their guns out and take over the radio station.
We're kind of guessing at this point, I think.
Sure.
We don't really know.
And that's the big reason. Like, I think Steve Buscemi just like takes it into his own hands and's like, well, they're not going to do it. Then we got to take them hostage.
Do you think that the other two in the band knew that Steve Buscemi was going to pull the guns out when they walked into the building?
Yes. During the scene in the van, he reveals, maybe just to Adam Sandler, but I think he reveals to everybody that he has these fake guns. Because they're filled with pepper spray.
Oh,
or like
okay.
Pepper juice or whatever. But
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna get famous one way or the other.
That's what. Yeah. Yeah. That's how. That's their plan. That's literally their plan.
Mm-hmm.
Is to get famous through forcing the song on the radio, but then it gets out of hand.
And I think Michael Richards like sees it in like he opens the door and sees people with guns and like escapes up into the roof.
No, it's not Michael Richards.
Yes, it is.
No. There's a guy.
Harold Ramis shows up at the end.
Is that Harold Ramis?
It's a guy who looks like Harold Ramis.
He's got circular glasses. He's in a lot of 80s movies as a bit person. Oh, no. I don't know this guy.
Michael Richards is in this film. Maybe you're thinking of another
I'm thinking of a
actor.
guy who's got like kind of a balding top, but he does a ponytail type thing. And he's an 80s guy, and I'll have to show you.
Hector
after.
Elizondo?
Is that it?
I don't know.
Who's that?
From Pretty Woman and I don't know, he's got
Keep
like
going.
He's got like 100
Keep
acting
going.
credits.
Keep going.
Oh, I don't.
I think that guy's in this movie.
No.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about.
It's probably Hector Elizondo if you're talking about him. But
Yeah.
Michael McKean
Can I
has
look
the
him
ponytail.
up?
Michael McKean has the ponytail.
Okay, maybe it is my. No. Okay, yes, Michael McKean does have a ponytail, but this other guy I think is in it.
No.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
We're off on Tangent Island here.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to know who Hector Elizondo is.
You would know Hector Elizondo when you see Hector Elizondo.
With the confidence that you're expressing, I think we're talking about the same person already.
Mm-mm. No.
No, I mean the person I'm describing.
Yeah.
the person you named. Okay.
Well, anyway.
So
people don't.
Michael Richards trying to call the police from the. Well, he's
the
up in the
police
ducks
from
and he's
the
trying to
offices
go
or
down
whatever.
to a certain office to call the police.
Yeah.
And he does. He is successful. And he says that there are people with guns, because I think this is like where the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I think they send like a cop car to like look at what's going on, and they end up like confirming that the radio station is being held hostage. But
Yeah.
everyone hates the Lone Rangers. They're the bad guys, but eventually they win. They
win over a certain number of people by the end.
Yeah, we get some Stockholm syndrome to set in, and everyone starts to like each other again.
So Michael McKean gets tied up to a chair.
Yes, they all get tied up. And, like,
Yeah,
put
but
somewhere.
he out of all
He gets
them,
extra time.
he gets thrown into a closet.
because he's just being very uncooperative. But
Right.
everyone else is kind of going along to get along.
Right, because Michael McKean's like trying to like slip out of the chair. He's trying to get things to like cut the ropes. No,
And they just don't like him.
Nothing's working.
He's just
an
a bad,
asshole.
He's a bad man. Yeah. Everyone knows he's a bad guy. And eventually, Joe Montana says something to trigger, like, "Well, don't you have another tape?" And like, Brendan Fraser's like, "Oh yeah, I do. But I gotta get a hold of my lady." But at this point, it's too late because the cops are like everywhere.
Oh, they're already there.
Yeah, and they're trying to like get demands and like figure out like what they want.
So this is where Ernie Hudson comes in.
Mm-hmm. And Chris Farley is there. I'm going to go ahead and say he's for sure there because he's the one that goes out to try to find the girlfriend.
Do you think Chris Farley is in this movie?
Yes.
That would make sense. He's got to be. He's got to be. Unless you're thinking of Wayne's World 1.
He's a security guard in that one. He's a police officer in this one.
Of course he's in this movie. Of course he's in this movie. Okay.
I think he is.
Yeah. So that is one of the demands that they go get the tape.
So there's another like C plot happening for Chris Farley to go find this girl who's at a club.
Right.
And get the
There's
tape.
that.
Mm-hmm.
There's that Michael Richards is like he's trying to save the situation himself.
Yeah.
He's trying to be the renegade.
He's talking to some sort of douchebaggy like FBI or like SWAT team agent guy who was like trying to score the big bust or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
And Michael Richards thinks he can save the situation on his own.
Well, they send a gun in through a roof for him.
They give him a gun?
They give him a gun.
It seems like the dumbest idea possible in a hostage situation.
And he takes it down into the roof right when negotiations are starting to go good. And he ends up trying to hold the Airheads hostage. But they Steve Buscemi knocks the gun out of his hand, and of course, if a gun falls in a movie, it's going off.
It's gonna shooting
everybody. So it thinks the cops try to get shot at, but they actually finally get a real gun to hold people hostage.
Right, because when do they find out that there were fake guns? Before that or after?
After.
Because they're kind of pissed about the fake guns.
They were pissed that they were being held hostage with fake guns.
Which I guess makes sense.
It may even happen right before this scene, because they do end up getting a real gun, so it would be a wash, I guess.
I do know that the girl
and Adam Sandler
are hooking up. Yep, you're literally what I was gonna say. Yep, he's showing her drum moves and stuff, and he's got his drum pad, and he's just ding, 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 and she's like, "Ooh, your arms are so big."
He plays the quiet cool, and he gets the lady.
Yeah, I like to work out. Yeah, I work out a couple times. Adam Sandler. I like to work out.
He probably does a couple screamy Adam Sandler bits in here.
He's very timid in this movie.
Yeah, he does. It's probably his shyest role.
I don't think he has a breakout part at all.
I don't know. I bet he has.
Well, maybe that's
somewhere.
Is that his character arc? You would think.
Yeah,
he kind of comes out of his shell a little bit.
Himself. Yeah, I think Steve Buscemi pick on him too much, and he eventually wants to come out as a big part of the band or something. The girl ends up getting there, but the tape is destroyed. So it's a meek of the moment is saved.
The girlfriend?
Hey, Brendan Fraser's girlfriend is here. And
she literally drives over the tape.
Yeah, she throws it out the window, and then it gets destroyed.
And then no, this is what happens. She's driving, she throws the tape out of the window, and then as she's driving, she actually hears on the radio about the band taking the station hostage.
After the fact, yeah.
And maybe it is after the fact. And then she's trying to go to find the tape again.
Mm-hmm.
But someone's run it over and a dog pees on it.
Yeah, it's destroyed.
And it's gone forever.
Yeah. But she doesn't realize that. She still brings the tape in, tries to have a big moment, but Brendan Fraser says it's ruined and it's no good.
And she's bad because she ruined it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a metaphor, of her not taking things, or him treating him wrong,
Yeah.
Or
you didn't take this serious.
Yeah.
You had the one tape.
But I think their ultimate thing is how they solve the situation is they're just going to play this song live.
Mm-hmm.
But
they need drums and guitars.
Yeah. And I think Harold Ramis, I'm pretty sure if it's not Harold Ramis, it's a guy who's doing an amazing Harold Ramis
Hector
impression.
Esposito
comes in with a record contract all ready to sign. This is a big enough moment to sign the records. You didn't even hear the tape. It's how are you going to sign us? They have all of a sudden the Airheads have integrity where they're not going to sign the contract.
That's like the Strokes. They were famous before their album came out, and they were getting yeah, they were getting interviewed by a bunch of people, and they're like, "Oh, we hear your album's coming out in 3 months. That's awesome." Yeah, no one's heard what we sound like yet.
But they said they're gonna, play the song live, and they're not gonna sign the record deal. He ends up tearing it up and wipes his butt with it. Even
Brendan Fraser does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, he does shove it up his down his pants.
Yeah. And I think someone even says, I don't know if it's Joe Montana or Michael McKean, he just wiped his butt with the record contract.
Whoa, what am I hearing? What's wrong, man? No deal, no. What's this? What are you talking about? No deal! Yesterday, Dick Shine here kicks me out of Palantine Records, and today, he has a record contract for me to sign. He hasn't even heard my tape. No deal! But this is what you wanted! You want to know what I think of your contract? Allow me to demonstrate. He wipes his ass with his record contract. I love this guy.
That's a bold move. That's how you ask for more money before you're even good.
Yeah.
So obviously they need the equipment.
Yeah.
They get the equipment.
There's a bunch of weird demands that they ask for too. Naked photos of B. Arthur, a bunch of
B. Arthur?
yeah, it's a joke in the movie. B. Arthur's from the Golden Girls. She plays the tall one.
Oh.
Dorothy. Not Dorothy.
The main, she's kind of like the straight one.
Yeah.
You want, okay.
She's a babe.
That's a weird demand, though.
Yeah, that's the whole point. They're trying to make like wacky demands to buy time.
Because this movie is now nighttime.
Yeah.
And not only that, there are a lot of people that are showing up at the place, like ready for a concert. Because I think all of this has been broadcast on the radio?
Yeah, people are like really supporting the Lone Rangers.
Yeah. So they're ready for a concert. And I'm sure they got like police spotlights and everything.
Michael McKean is kind of like setting things up, trying to make real and deal. I think this is the moment where Joe Montana finds that he was going to sell the radio, and they get all pissed off, and like it's a big fight there.
So now they're willing to like help the band.
Joe Montana is like, yeah, we'll do whatever. He like wants to be 100% in on helping this band do what they want to do. He ends up becoming their manager at the end of the film.
Oh, okay. That's a little nugget that I didn't know. Are they even good?
Yes. The song's good.
The song's good?
Yeah. They only have one song.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
they get arrested like right after that.
Right. Do you want to talk about the end right now? Is there anything else you can remember from this film? The music I remember being kind of wacky. It's like has wacky music every once in a while. Like
I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah. Brendan Fraser's screaming a lot. Steve Buscemi's got like a cool facial mustache and long hair. He looks great. It's kind of an odd role for him. I like it a lot.
Well, he was doing a couple comedy movies like throughout the 90s. I think he was trying to do like smaller parts, and he was doing like indie roles, and he even like made his own movie. I forget what it's called. Something like Treehouse or something.
He's always in the
Trees Lounge
and Adam Sandler movies as some kind of like wacky character. And when he shows up on Saturday Night Live, he's so funny.
This must be the start of it then.
Could be the connection.
I didn't even make that connection because this is like early Sandler. That's a see you put your friends in your movies. That's like fun. And
and especially
if you make friends with Adam Sandler, you'll be in movies for a long time.
You'll be great. If you're Rob Schneider, you'd never have to work again.
Like literally, yeah. Like Rob Schneider, everybody's like dogs him and everything, but he's done really well because he's great friends with Adam Sandler, and like he's been able to help him.
He's one of the best parts in Hubie Halloween. That terrible movie that I was telling you about.
I actually kind of like Rob Schneider. I feel bad for him at times.
Yeah, me too.
When people are like
I think it's
fun of him because he is funny.
Yeah,
he's just been in weird roles, and he's been like, he's not really like the leading actor type. Mm-hmm. But he managed to do that for at least 3 movies, maybe more. I'm sure.
Yeah. I think Deuce Bigelow 2 is when he kind of like fell off for people.
But. Sure. They're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But you needed the money.
Just runs out of steam a bit.
No, there's no shame in that.
No. I like Benchwarmers. That was a great film.
Yeah,
movie no one talks about.
Yeah. He's doing well. I'm sure he's not sad.
Maybe he even shows up in this movie as a police
officer
or
like
something.
Paul Thomas Anderson made a movie with Adam Sandler, and sorry, I said it wrong. Stanler. That was a drama, and it worked out really, really well. I've always thought, like, what if you took like other comedic people?
Sure.
Rob Schneider was one of them, where I was like, put him in a drama role and see what happens. See how that goes. Maybe it'd be terrible. I don't know, but maybe it might be interesting.
Sometimes you get Marlon Wayans in action films, and you made a mistake. Sometimes
that happens.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it's not all bulletproof.
Yeah, Stealth and G.I. Joe, that's a mistake, but
So
the concert,
they do the concert.
But there's a problem.
Uh-oh. I don't know the problem.
There's a backing track, and they're being told to lip sync the song.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I don't know how they end up getting like the tape fixed or whatever. Or like how they have the song to play in the background.
They just play their own song?
That's a question that
we'll have to
see
the movie
to understand how they have the backing track at all.
Did they not have the right sound equipment, or did the sound equipment go bad? Or
in my head, they need to play it live because there's no other option. So I don't know.
They don't know how to tune their guitars.
So I don't know how they're expecting them to lip sync a song that they don't have. That I don't understand.
This is like Top of the Pops.
Yeah, I have to figure this out. But the movie transitions right from them having the sweet concert, fade into them in prison playing the same song for the prisoners.
Oh, nice. That's a good transition.
Yeah. And it's like it shows like they just got to do their time, and they get like they
got like a couple of years or something.
Yeah. There's a prologue about how they just did their time and got out for like good behavior in a couple months or whatever.
And I'm sure they show a scene where they're leaving together from prison.
No, fades out. Joe Mantegna's on the phone trying to strike deals. The song rolls right into the credits, and the movie's over.
Okay, I thought maybe the girl would be waiting for Adam Sandler or something like that.
I think there might be like in the background or something like that, or they're like watching it on the radio or listening to it on the radio rather.
Okay. Well, I think we should go watch this.
Sure, why not?
See what we got right, see what we got wrong in part 2.
Why don't you just give it up, Chester, and you and Sweetie Pie can talk it over later?
You stay out of this and get your hands off her!
Why did he call you that?
There's a lot Chester didn't tell you about, right, Chester?
What's he talking about, Chester?
Kayla, there's something I gotta tell you.
What?
I was a geek in high school. I had really short hair. I played Dungeons and Dragons. I had a bug collection. I ate my boogers. My name's not Chaz. It's Chester. And I understand if you don't love me anymore.
I play D&D too!
Damn!
I was editor of the school magazine!
I used to wear corduroy pants.
I used to masturbate. Constantly.
We're with you, Chad! I want your body!
Welcome back to the Johnny Can't Read, Johnny Can't Write podcast. We watched Airheads.
And I don't feel any smarter having watched this film.
Yeah. It's definitely a comedy for...
Who?
Hold on, I'll get this one.
Where was the joke?
People... I mean, I liked it as a kid. I think you got to be a kid. I think you got to be a little kid.
I liked it as a kid as well.
I think you got to be a little guy.
You got to be a teen.
You have to be a teen.
Yeah, a preteen.
Who only watches TRL.
There were a lot of like PG, not even 13, PG lines.
Sure.
Lots.
And even when like people are bing-bonging, they're like fully clothed bing-bonging. So, you know.
I guess that you can't show that in a PG movie, can you?
No. But
you should.
But if you're going to do it, you know, do it. If you're going to do it, do it. Just do it.
Yeah, it's better to beg for forgiveness afterward.
Mm-hmm. Even when a lady takes off her skirt, she's still wearing like a full set of pants.
Sure,
you know?
And she looks like Betty Boop. She sounds like her.
Sure. Brendan Fraser's girlfriend is who we're talking about.
The radio girl.
No,
I was talking about her.
You were talking about the radio girl. Yeah, she's Betty Boop.
Yeah, she's
booping.
She's booping. Mm-hmm. Betty.
A Betty was a term that used to call hot chicks in the 90s. She's a real Betty. That's a Clueless.
That's a really?
Yeah.
Oh.
What are some of your other favorite references in this movie that they tried to like make happen? Bumpers? Like Brendan Fraser just kept calling like girls like bumpers.
Yeah, I couldn't.
What does that mean? That guy's always pulling bumpers. Because like Pip's always pulling bumpers.
Maybe girls that get hit by car bumpers. I don't
like
know
what
that means.
Like big bumps, like butts. They just can't say butts. They say
big
bumps.
Bump.
Is that a Canadian
He's
thing?
always with bumpers?
Yeah, he's always getting with bumpers.
How does he do that?
Pip? I think he gets his hands on more bumper than a body shop.
With that I seem so stupid, I must be cute routine?
That's the quiet cool. The chicks, man, they just lock on it.
And they call girl
bump her
bumpers.
off the list. Bump her off that list. I'll take her. I don't know.
I think it's like too much like snooch to the nooch, you know? It's like you're trying to make too many things happen, Airheads. None of these things caught on. I don't remember a single one of them.
No. Maybe they were popular for a moment.
You like the half butt puppet line.
No, I hated that line.
Okay.
It was terrible. That was one of the PG lines. I was like, that? I felt that was Brendan Fraser improvising, and it came out very bad, and they kept it.
Steve Buscemi says a lot of mean things very fast. Most of them are, not great, but like sort of PG.
Mm-hmm. But there's some swears.
There's some curses that slip in there.
So, is it trying to bring in like a wide range of people or what? Because like
literally the Beavis and Butthead audience, because Beavis and Butthead have a cameo in this movie.
They do, which I totally forgot about.
It's weird,
but then I totally
they're
remembered.
not real people. Why are you taking all the?
But they're like
the
big
film?
in music. Their whole show is about music because they watch those
Music videos. Sure. Do you not realize those are cartoons? That the Beavis
No.
and Butthead aren't-
They go couch fishing.
So Beavis and Butthead aren't real though. They're not real people.
No, they're friends. I think.
I think Mike Judge might do the voice of both of them.
Yeah, I think he does. I believe so. I used to stay up late waiting for that show.
It was good.
And I don't know when it came on. And
Thursdays,
I was young.
11 p.m.
I can't do that. I know.
Yeah.
It came out on no, I wouldn't have been allowed to do that.
You weren't. You snuck
but
up. You stayed
they
up late at night.
replayed it on like Saturdays, I think.
Yeah.
But it was like super late.
You'd
it would
get
be
the
like
replay.
maybe midnight.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. And I'd be like in like 5th grade trying to stay up and watch it.
You get that MTV.
I'm like coffee. I need some coffee right now. I'm like, I'm going to stay. I'm such an adult right now. I'm going to stay up late. My mom's asleep. I'm going to watch Beavis and Butthead. And
then you turn the TV on. Aeon Flux Marathon. Got ya.
Dang it.
Sucker.
The tick. No.
The Max was on MTV. And the Head. And the Max.
I always remember Syphil and Ollie came out right before, or came on
show.
right before Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, MTV was a big program. It was like Adult Swim, pre-Adult Swim.
So this is not an MTV movie because we obviously know Joe's Apartment was the first one.
Yeah.
But this
it was a wannabe MTV film.
It should have been.
Yeah.
It could have been.
Got a lot of great casting in here.
Yeah, we named them all.
Not Judd Nelson.
Except that one. Except him. I didn't want to believe the Michael Richards thing. I was like,
I'm sorry.
See, I told you he's not showing up. There's no Michael Richards anywhere. Nope. Didn't even see his name cross on the title screen.
He gets a whiff.
And then he shows up like...
He's right in the beginning.
15 minutes in.
Within the first 10 minutes, they're breaking into the radio station.
They didn't even have a plan.
No time to waste here.
We were debating on like, what's their motive? Why do they do it? It's just Brendan Fraser says, you got to take action. You can't just wait for things to happen.
They go to see another band at a concert hall, and that band got popular because one of their hit singles got on the radio station. So then they put it together. They got to get their song on the radio station.
Yeah. The whole gun thing wasn't like really talked about or discussed. They just have a cut scene where they're like messing with the guns and he's filling it up with like pepper spray, like liquid that he made.
He also says capsaicin wrong. He says it in a really fun way.
How do you say it?
You say it as capsaicin, but pre-Steve Buscemi had like capsaicin. Like he said something like real like that's not how that's like it's back in
it was
the
dubbed
day,
over.
It's back in the day when you didn't really know like the pronunciation of those kind of words. Yeah.
It's got a lot of capsaicin.
He says it really funny. You're like it's an actor, you see it on the page and you're like, okay, I'm not even gonna look up how to pronounce this correctly. I'm just gonna go for it.
Pepper sauce. Active ingredient capsicum. You blast this in somebody's face and they're all like, oh!
It was a foreign director, so he didn't even know to correct him.
Was it?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was 1994 and
I was like, why wouldn't someone
the
correct
internet
him?
didn't
But
exist.
maybe he's meant to be dumb because they're kind of dumb characters, all of them.
It's not a running
They're all
theme,
dumb.
though. They all are dumb.
They're all dumb.
They're all dummy dums.
They're called like Three Stooges at times.
Yeah, they don't understand why the Lone Ranger
so he probably
isn't a
that
good
probably
name.
wasn't even an accident.
Yeah,
that might have been on purpose.
I kind of like them as dummy dum.
Yeah.
Makes them more endearing.
I mean, I related to Adam Sandler's character at times. I was like, he's awkward and stupid and says things, and he's like, "Oops, I shouldn't have talked about that."
And you used to clean pools. That was your first job in the summertime.
Yeah, nobody knew it though.
No.
I never got paid for it. I just
You
decided.
You broke into people's backyards and would go in there. And
it was an internship. It was an
clean
internship
them without them knowing.
Brad. Nope, internship.
And then people would be like, "Hey, there's this man in my backyard."
A lot of police.
We got to get
a lot of police.
A lot of pool police getting at you.
Yep. Nope. Not good. Not good for an internship.
No. Well, high school. Because they seem like they didn't graduate high school in this movie.
You think? No, I'm talking middle school.
I was doing a segue.
No.
You want the record corrected before we move on, don't you?
Excuse me, I think I have 30 seconds to respond.
Well,
Time,
actually,
please.
I'd like to talk about that last question you asked me. I want to talk about that.
Excuse me.
Actually, like 2 questions ago, I like to
Listen, I need to before I respond to that one, I need to respond to what you just said.
This is going to be relevant to people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Michael Richards is separate from the film. He has one scene with Michael McKean, and he's up in the rafters the whole time, and then he's just
he is diehard.
There's little cartoony side plots happening. He's like the comedic relief.
He's the only funny part, I would say.
He falls down and goes boom a lot.
But there's a lot of scenes where I'm like, why is this happening? He's in the air ducts, and like he just happens to get to like an intersection, and then all of a sudden all this wind blows them into another area. I'm like, this is silly. They're going for like they are going lowbrow many times.
And he was like always wrong place, wrong time. Like there's moments where the two characters, Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi, are talking like as if the guns aren't working, but then they later are like talking about how being threatening with the guns, and Michael Richards just happens to show up and listen to that part of the conversation, missing the other part of the conversation.
Which is a fun scene where Steve Buscemi is trying to get Adam Sandler to be more aggressive with holding the gun.
Yeah.
And this is in the trailer. I know it.
Teaching
it's
him
a
how to be
trailer
assertive.
Moment. Yep. And I know you're going to put it right here.
Maybe.
But don't.
I can put it wherever I want. I have the power.
Oh, thanks. And here.
You know, you got to scare these people. Practice. Just try.
I just feel a little goofy, you know, trying to be a badass with a water pistol.
They don't know it's a water pistol. They think it's real, right? Come on. Now show me what you got. Come on.
Okay, get over there, please. Thank you.
What are you, a crack baby? Give me that.
I got it.
Give me.
All right.
I'll show you.
All right.
Hey, you! You shut your mouth, you chicken-sucking bastard, or I'll stab your eyeballs out and piss all over your brain! It's gonna be a slaughterhouse in here! Dead bodies flying through the air!
The characters don't really arc. Do they arc? Steve Buscemi doesn't arc. Brendan Fraser doesn't arc.
I mean,
Maybe
I think they realize that they're going to go to jail.
Joe Montana arcs. I'd say.
He does.
Yeah. Because he's like a washed up, doesn't care about his job DJ. He's the Shark. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he wants to work with Brendan Fraser and like against him, and then once he finds out that the radio station is getting taken over, he's like has a change of heart, ends up like, you know, kind of turning a new leaf. Should be his movie.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the better parts of the movie.
He's got that one squinty eye.
He does. What is that? That's him?
Is that
a Rip Torn thing?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a character choice or an actor thing.
He's the shark. He got his eye
one squinty eye
squinted by a shark. I thought Michael McKean would be funnier, but he's just like kind of annoying.
Yeah, he plays his part well as a douche.
Yeah.
As a douchebag.
Yeah. I'm very annoyed, though, overall, by the fact that they did not plan for what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they didn't even show us the planning of what they were going to do. There's literally the gun scene where they show they have guns. They put pepper spray in it. And then they're cut to getting into the building. And I was like, what did we miss here?
As an audience member, you want to be let in on what's going on.
Give me a little bit more
you don't
right
like
there.
This going off the cuff kind of thing.
Because I hated the fact that they weren't prepared with the right material. They didn't have like multiple options, like
didn't have a cassette, didn't have a CD. What they had was what they called like a 1/4-inch reel-to-reel play, like audio thing.
Yeah.
And to get around that, Brendan Fraser says that he likes the way his voice sounds on that one over the cassette, because the cassette sounds like someone stepping on his nutsack.
He does say that line.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's the whole rest of the movie becomes just the annoyance of we don't have the right cassette and we need it.
And there's like a setup. There's always like a setup to break a thing. Like Steve Buscemi lights a cigarette. They can't smoke in the DJ room. So, but for whatever reason, Joe Montana does have a cigarette bowl. Don't give me how those two connect if you can't have cigarettes in there.
Right.
And then the reel-to-reel like spills out onto that bowl and then it gets lit on fire.
And why was their equipment so bad? Why
the radio show?
Yeah, why did it mess that tape up?
I don't.
Just another annoying plot element.
Well, they offhandedly say that Adam Sandler's character like fed it wrong, but then he says no, the equipment's wrong. So it's like who's telling the truth? You know?
All right. Yep. I gotta be honest. This movie is relatively boring.
It's
overall.
fast though.
It is. Yeah.
It really
moves.
cranks out.
It moves. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got like a succinct plot. It's.
I
for
like
the most
Ernie
part, it's put
Hudson a
together.
lot.
He's great.
I love Ernie Hudson in this film.
He's great.
And got
he's,
the Harold
he's
Ramis.
nice, like right from the beginning.
Ghostbusters are back at it.
That guy does not like acting, from what I.
Harold Ramis?
Yeah, from what I gather.
He's a director.
Yeah,
directs films.
This has got to be what, his last movie?
That he acted in?
Yeah.
No, he does in As Good as It Gets, which I think was 97.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was in that.
And then he probably had some offhanded cameos throughout the 2000s, like favors. His last movie he directed was Year One.
Oh, wow. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot that he passed away.
Really?
I did.
Oh, no.
I did. I was kind of sitting there thinking, like, what?
He's the first
what's he
Ghostbuster to
been
become a
up
ghost.
to? Okay. That's sad. Aren't they making a Ghostbusters?
Yeah, Afterlife comes out sometime next year.
Afterlife? All right. He's going to have Harold Ramis. Is that...
It's Harold Ramis' family. It's like his daughter that was estranged, and they live in a small town.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Sure.
Sometime.
At some point, we'll be able to see things.
Right.
This movie is perfect for Comedy Central, TBS, TNT.
Which is where I've seen it.
Replay it nonstop over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, it's long enough. It's easy to jump into certain scenes, but it's not super exciting overall as a movie. It's not super funny as a movie either. You have funny people in it.
People are yelling at each other. I guess that's comedy.
Is that? I like it when they scream.
They scream at each other all the time.
Yeah.
I like the internal conflict and politics within the radio station, to be honest.
With the changeover from being a rock station to a smooth jazz station.
That's an interesting story to me.
Yeah, I mean, they're only like a couple years away from being able to be on like, I don't know, Spotify or whatever, Apple Music and all that.
1994.
But
they were like
if this radio station goes down and becomes smooth jazz, that completely destroys their opportunity.
And you have to imagine how much more popular radio was too at the time the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody listened to that.
This is still
radio.
big. Yeah,
giant.
Oh,
Juggernaut.
I remember
of a
listening
creature.
to the radio every morning going to school. You know,
on the bus. Yeah,
on the bus.
You wake
coming
up
back.
Yeah, make your own cassette tapes. Give it to your sweetheart.
I never made cassette tapes.
Really? That was fun.
No, I never did that.
Yeah, I did that. You ever call into radio stations, and ask for?
No, I've never had the courage to do that, or even the desire.
Can you do that right now? Could you do it right now?
Is there a radio station to call into?
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Right now?
Yeah. We also forgot about David Arquette.
I guess there's like talk radio stations. Yeah.
No, you could call whatever.
Did I win the tickets?
Rock Radio, Detroit.
Sir, this is a conservative talk radio. Did I win?
My coworker used to call into the radio show all the time and win stuff. She never wanted it, but like she listened to it all day and would just call.
I had coworkers that did that too.
Yeah.
That's an interesting life.
So David Arquette's in the film.
He is, and he looks young.
He's a blonde.
He is young.
Surfer guy who was one moment in the film is when he breaks out of the radio station and then wants to break back in.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Yeah. He's got some like goofy faces that he does throughout the whole movie. Some goofy moments. He's wearing like some he's definitely like a skateboarder.
Yeah.
He looks 18. He's probably older.
He's just kind of like he wants to be one of the guys. He's like a little brother, wants to tag along.
He could have been in Green Day, or he listens to a lot of Green Day.
Sure.
That's what he looks like.
And then we can't forget, we have to remember his name. Reg E. Cathy is in the film.
Yes, this is the guy from The Mask.
He's in The Mask. He's an American Psycho.
Oh, man. Reggie Kelly?
Reg E. Cathy.
Reg E. Cathy. Okay. Reggie Cathy.
Reggie Cathy. Oh, we say it 3 times as he show up.
Oh, don't.
He's actually passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Has he got a long film history?
Oh my gosh,
It's enormous.
You wouldn't believe. He's working every year on something.
So what would be his big first thing?
The first 4 things he's listed for on IMDb: the Fantastic Four remake in 2015, as he plays a character in there. The Mask, of course.
Okay.
His character name in The Mask is Freeze, for all you fans out there.
All right.
Tank Girl and SWAT.
He's in SWAT.
He's in SWAT.
So he's got like a variety of roles that he's done.
And he's been working up until his death in 2018. He has 89 film credits of sorts that could be also television.
Sure.
And he was in a TV movie in '84. Funny Farm was his first credit.
Oh, with Chevy Chase.
With Chevy Chase in that film.
With Chevy Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Chevy Chase. Oh, well, that's awesome. So now we know who that is.
Yeah.
And we don't have to keep guessing. And on top of that, this guy is probably like amongst the top actors that we've done on this podcast now.
He's in Pootie Tang.
Oh, Tippy Tow, baby girl.
He's in 7.
Ooh.
He's in, I just saw it, Air Force One.
Out of time.
Clear and Present Danger. He's in both of those. Oh, he was in What About Bob?
Oh my God, he's got to be the biggest actor. When? Where?
He plays a director named Howie in What About Bob?
Maybe the NBC director. Remember when NBC showed up to do the interview?
Oh, you're right.
Wow, he's in 4 movies that we've done.
Yeah.
He's the biggest actor that we've had on the podcast.
Born on the 4th of July, which I have never seen.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying he was born on the 4th of July. But
oh, no.
No, you're talking about the Tom Cruise film about the guy with the Vietnam. He's a Vietnam vet.
He's in several Bill Murray films. St. Vincent, What About Bob, and Quick Change. I guess maybe him and Bill Murray were friends. We gotta... when we gotta call Bill Murray when we get him on the show, we gotta say,
we gotta call.
Tell me your favorite Reggie Cathy stories.
Bill, tell us these stories, please. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Now we've looked that up.
I'm glad.
I am too. I'm very glad.
IMDb was very helpful. What else you want to airhead? What else you want to airhead about? What else? Chris Farley pulls off that nipple ring.
He does,
That's
which
a good bit.
I remembered and loved.
Then he screams at the camera a couple times.
Reminded me of Terminator, that whole sequence.
That weird SWAT guy has a thing against pool boys.
That weird SWAT guy was weird.
Yeah.
What was up with that guy?
His wife cheated on him, and he was talking to Michael Richards, and he got all mad, and he's got a weird. He never gets comeuppance either.
No, from the beginning, I was like, everything was off. His very first line was not syncopated right. And so he said one line, and then Michael Richards was supposed to say a line over the phone, but he's already jumping over the line to do his reaction. And the rest of it, it was funny at times at first, but it got a little bit draining. He was talking about, at first he was talking about his old lady and how she doesn't like that he has dirty dishes in the sink or something like that. Or that he likes a beer after work or something. It's very nonchalant. And the whole time, Michael Richards is army crawling through the radio station with a gun in his hand.
What made his wife go over the edge is when he left a pair of underwear on the floor and it had a skid mark in it.
It's the weirdest line. He's got one little skid mark.
Got one little skid mark.
And she started World War IX. Oh, it's such a silly character.
I dropped my underwear on the floor one time. Had the teeny weeny little skid mark in it. You'd have thought I started World War IX.
They do get the cassette back, but they can't play it because Chaz's girlfriend throws a chair into the DJ booth and breaks the control panel. Breaks the
But I thought
audio
the cassette
control.
was urinated on.
So there's a line where Steve Buscemi says that he can fix it.
Okay.
And he does fix it because that is what plays for them to lip sync during the end with the concert.
Okay.
So that's the second time the plan gets foiled.
And why did she throw that again?
She was mad at Chaz because,
Chester.
She's wanting some recognition, not to be stepped on. He doesn't treat her very well, and like doesn't think about her needs and things like that, which is true.
Right. From the very beginning, he was kind of like, you just have to work a little bit longer because I'm working so hard on this band, and just think about how you won't have to do anything after this band works. And it's like, but you need a job, bozo. Well, you're half a butt puppet.
Were they wigs or are they real hair?
Whose?
Steve Buscemi and Brendan Fraser.
Totally real.
There were some where it looked fake and they had like a bandana covering it or something, maybe.
Reshoots?
Could have been reshoots or something, yeah. But other than that, it seemed real.
Adam Sandler's was real.
Yeah, well, he had a shaved head.
I mean, it was underneath the cap, so I couldn't really get a great look at it just yet. But it looked real. I don't know. I think Brendan Fraser probably did have real hair. Doesn't he have long hair in
Encino Man?
Encino Man, which came out like right after this or right at the same time.
But he wanted to do more serious films. I think that what was that movie that he did?
Blast from the Past.
No, with the School Ties.
School Ties.
Right around this time, and he had short hair in that movie.
I mean, he could have made those two movies and then made that right afterward.
What's your favorite Brendan Fraser film?
The Mummy. Of course.
Sure.
Of course. What about you?
Renaissance Man.
Don't say that. No, nobody knows what that is. What is that? What? Renaissance Man? What? No.
Yeah, it's got Joe Pesci.
No, it doesn't.
In it, and he plays like a homeless man who steals Brendan Fraser's dissertation or whatever the last thing what you do in college is, and he gives it to him like a page at a time in order to like have a favor done for him. So like, you give me a bowl of soup, I give you a page.
Right.
You keep me warm at night, I give you a page.
Right. right. I saw this trailer actually. I can't believe this.
Yeah, it's a good film. You learn a lot about your life
like
and things.
It's like a heartfelt movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he gets that dissertation in, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it all ends well.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Couldn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
In The Mummy, there's a mummy. It's on brand. It's on brand.
It's on brand in Fraser.
It's on brand. That's good.
This is Brad from the future here. I said Renaissance Man like a bunch of times right there. The movie's actually called With Honors. It came out around the same time, but Renaissance Man stars Danny DeVito, and With Honors stars Joe Pesci and Brendan Fraser. Couple more cameos would have been good. We got a lot of them, but get some Pauly Shore in there. Get some.
He could have.
Whatever.
Yeah, of course. They
more
were just
MTV
making
personalities.
movies.
Get them in there. We got Kurt Loder showing up. Let's get some more MTV people in there.
Kurt Loder is the MTV guy.
Yeah, let's get Ricky Lake.
Right.
Let's get some Ricky Lake going.
You wanted to Ricky Lake?
Let's get some Sally Jesse Raphael.
Raphael with those red glasses.
Yeah. Let's get some cameos in here. Get some Larry King live. Talking about the thing going on.
Suspender shoulders business.
Yeah.
That's a great costume. Overall, I would not recommend watching this movie again.
Why not?
It's boring. It is boring.
Yeah, but you want to remember the things that you are familiar with. No?
I wasn't even really thrilled with some of the things that I remembered. Like, there were some scenes where, like...
I remember the scene where he has the spray gun and sprays his burrito. For whatever reason, that, like, rang a bell.
Yeah. I mean, that's a smart idea. Why wouldn't you do that?
Uh-huh.
That's not a bad idea. Ernie Hudson's good. He's fun. Michael Richards is great. I wish it was funnier, though. I wish it had more comedy to it.
No.
I wish it didn't like quite take itself so serious.
We'll just play like weird bass lines and like funny like guitar noises, and that'll make people think it's funny.
You just want to, just
play some weird bass lines.
Get some sound effects
in there. Have Michael Richards like fall a few more times.
Sure.
Have him be caught behind having someone have sex again. That's a fun scene.
Just ramp it up to 10. These go to 11.
But Michael McKean is arguably the funniest real actor in the film.
Yes.
And he's playing the most serious role.
Yes, which is like, why would you choose that?
I don't know.
Why not put him in the funny part? He's funny.
Yeah, switch Joe Mantegna and Kevin McKeon. I don't know. Maybe they like tested it and it didn't seem as good. I don't know. But
maybe Michael McKean was trying to take on some more serious roles amongst comedy, or I don't know. He was making a transition.
Pigeonholed as a bad guy a lot, I think, Coneheads, what have you.
Yeah. That was not a good role for him. Not like the Christopher Guest movies.
Oh, no, he shines so bright in those films.
And even surprising in Better Call Saul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, have you watched that?
No.
He's in the first season. Yeah. I haven't watched any more of it, but I hear it's great.
I do like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's
he
funny.
brings the goods. Anything else? You want to talk about Airheads? Are we done airheading around?
Yep.
Johnny Can't Read, Johnny Can't Write?
Yeah, there's
degenerate.
There's some interesting music.
Like the White Zombie song? Did you like?
I love the White Zombie song. I love that whole sequence.
Did you like the Lemmy cameo? Did you like?
Lemmy was great. Mm-hmm. Lemmy, I think, was in the opening song too. I don't know if that was Motorhead or him solo, but in the credits, that was him. He was in the movie at the very end.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the intro to the part 2. And I remember there was an iconic line. I couldn't remember. I'm remembering it now. Is that who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God? And the answer is Lemmy is God. It's a trick question. Right.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it's it's a trailer moment. Yeah, but I liked the White Zombie sequence. You didn't actually get to see Rob Zombie per se. I mean, that might have been him in the background.
I think it might have been. Yeah, I forget.
Most likely. But I was kind of thinking about that sequence, and like he's a movie director now, and this is like a opportunity for him to see how a movie's made or behind the scenes. I'm sure he's made music videos and stuff, but I'm sure there's a good jumping off point for him to think about his own movie career.
I do like a movie about music. I do like that.
Yeah.
Incorporating a lot of good music and soundtracks and stuff, and like the whole premise of we don't even really.
This is a movie about music and not a musician.
Yeah, I guess we didn't even really talk about what the hell's going on in the film. We've been like an hour into this.
No, we got the whole plot right. But dude, you knew so much of this plot.
They're struggling to make it big, and they're not trying to go against their integrity, other than like Steve Buscemi, who's like trying to figure out, like, he just wants everyone to be successful, but Brendan Fraser wants to do it the right way. Pip doesn't really have a say in anything because he's a dumb idiot. And it's just how somebody is trying to like break into the music industry in the 90s. And there's a lot of dialogue between Brendan Fraser and Joe Mantegna, a clashing of like decades of them like talking about like what is or what isn't good music. And there is this is when like a big divide was happening in the 90s between like teenagers and adults, and
so Michael McKean owns a place, but he's making a transition to smooth jazz, which I don't think is what anybody wants. He's at a generation that doesn't really understand like where the audience actually is right now.
It's the 3 generations of music. There's parts where like Steve Buscemi like puts in the face of like Michael McKean, like, why aren't you playing these good music? And it's like, well, if they were good, they'd be a number 1. It's like, well, if you don't play on the radio, they're not going to get to number 1. It's like,
right.
It's the whole tug of war between corporations who make music and the musicians themselves.
Yeah, and the musicians make the music, and then the corporations pick what they think is going to be good. You're not really seeing like who may actually be good, because you're just seeing like who's chosen to be.
Man, you got a ton of hot CDs here, and I never hear this stuff. Why don't you ever play these guys?
That's Milo's call. Why don't we play him, Milo?
Listen, if they're so hot, how come they're not tearing up the charts, babe?
Because you never play them, babe.
There's scenes where Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler are raiding like the music archives, like finding the stuff that their generation likes and putting it on the radio. Because they say like why they have this radio show hostage, why not play good music?
Well, there's always college radio. They're always playing like a wide variety of music.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically what they were looking for. It's not like mainstream.
It was hard to find music in the 90s. You had to go to like Borders and like put on a pair of headphones and like go through like the track lists at like the kiosk.
Yeah, you listen to MTV or VH1. And they tell you what's good.
Or you hear just a random song plays on the radio, and like you try to look it up and try to figure out who it is. And sometimes
I love that.
Websites would be like pretty good about saying who was last played, but usually like the top 5 songs were like always the same, like every week. Like it was really hard for people to break into those. I know growing up in Detroit, I think we had a top 10 that played pretty consistently. I forget at what time, but it was like the same kind of bands, and like every time like one broke in, it was kind of a big deal. And
yeah, some of the other themes I was thinking about too is like the fact that the band feels that they deserve to be famous is like a big thing. They know they're really good, or they think they're really good, so they think that they deserve the right to be on the radio. They don't really have a backup plan exactly, or a plan B. And then the fact that like nobody wants them is one thing, but then as soon as they stage this whole thing and they're trying to push themselves onto the radio, all of a sudden people come in like Judd Nelson and they're like, ooh, time to take advantage of this. They're a cash cow because they're pulling a stunt. So you get like a bunch of dishonest people coming in to try to help you live your dream, but making money off of you along the way. That's some hard facts right there.
I like it. I love breaking it down.
Some hard facts right there, ladies and germs.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there were any like pretenders, or was it sort of based off any musicians that kind of did something similar? They like pulled a publicity stunt just to like get their band or their music noticed, kind of thing.
I'm sure. Like
sure
Gigi
too.
Allen, you know.
What was that story?
Oh God, horrible guy. He's a I don't know, like an anarchist, like punk guy, and he was in I don't know what his band was called. It might have just been his name, but yeah, he would like defecate on the stage.
Oh yeah,
and then he would throw it at the audience.
Right. Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off a bat. Johnny Cash like going to jail, like doing his time. Like it was always a thing for like musicians to, like go to jail, and they do that at the end of this film.
Like Jim Morrison in The Doors, and there was that one time where he unzipped his pants and showed his junk, and they got arrested, and that was a big thing because it was like 1967.
Yeah.
So that's
musicians with
it's a little too early to be pulling down your pants, Jim. It's 1967. Give it a decade.
Musicians with mugshots was definitely like a rite of passage too. It felt.
Yeah.
Like you didn't make it big until
like
you were
Jimi
arrested
Hendrix,
by the police.
Yeah. Johnny Cash,
Right.
Elvis, Frank Sinatra. Oh
All
my
of them
God.
are
They all have mugshots. They're all arrested. You're too good. Arrest that guy. This is the good content now.
You have to live the last 20 minutes
you gotta
of our
edit.
show. But there's a lot of commentary on that, on the world of music in the
course there is.
1994, you know?
You know, although I didn't find the movie like all that funny or insightful that much, I think it did have like that bit of message to it. That was like a foundation of an idea that they want to live their dream. You know, but like along the way, you have to maybe take some extreme measures, and people will then glom on and take advantage of that. I use that word, glom on.
I don't mind it.
What's more to say, Brad?
No, nothing more to say other than the movie kind of flopped real hard. Cost $10 million, only made $5 million. So,
dude, that sucks. Stinks.
Yeah. So,
wonder why. Said the fly.
Marketing? I don't know.
It might have been. Who knows?
Thank you for joining us on that episode and every episode that you do. The next movie we're doing is our Christmas movie, which has the tagline, "What if your dad was Santa Claus?" We remember the Santa Claus.
It was the night before Christmas, and children were dreaming of the presents Santa would bring.
Somebody's on the roof.
But this Christmas Eve,
Hey, you!
the unthinkable happened.
You killed him.
Did not.
Now, this night,
If something should happen to me, put on my suit. The reindeer will know what to do.
it's up to them.
Let's go!
To save the day. Together, Scott Kelvin and his son Charlie take on the biggest job in the world.
Looking good, Dad.
And though it has its dangers,
Nice teeth.
he thought it was just for one night.
You're the new Santa. I am not Santa Claus. Ah. You put on the suit, you're the big guy.
What if I don't buy into this Santa Claus thing? Then there would be millions of disappointed children around the world.
He doesn't want the job.
It was a dream.
But it's growing on him.
I've gained 45 pounds in a week.
Now he's getting into the spirit.
There are a lot of kids that believe me. I want some ballet slippers.
And getting ready for the biggest night of his life.
How could I have done this without you, Charlie?
You couldn't.
Walt Disney presents a timeless tale that will warm your heart.
I love you, Santa Claus.
I love you, son.
Lift your spirits and make you believe.
You really are Santa Claus.
Pretty cool, huh?
Share the merriment and the magic.
Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing.
Tim Allen,
Santa?
the Santa Claus.